Hello, everybody. Mark Levin here. Our number, 877-381-3811. 877-381-3811. We need to add another matter to the table here. The other day while in Austria, John Kerry was asked a question. Hat tip to Conservative Review's Daniel Horowitz. John Kerry was asked a question. What if Congress overrides a presidential veto? That is, what if Congress votes this down, it goes to the president, this deal with the Islamo-Nazis in Tehran, and then Obama vetoes it and Congress overrides it? What about that? Cut 3, go.
What will the administration do if Congress has a veto-proof majority rejecting the deal?
If Congress were to veto the deal, the United States of America would be in noncompliance with this agreement, and contrary to all of the other countries in the world. I don't think that's going to happen. I really don't believe that people will turn their backs on an agreement.
All right, he goes on as he does because he's a blowhard. So now if Congress, so apart from Congress surrendering the treaty power, that's what McConnell, McCain, Lindsey Graham, and the rest of them did. Surrendering the treaty power. Now, if they manage to get a two-thirds vote to override a presidential veto, should they reject this phony deal? John Kerry's saying, well, they really can't. Because we'd be in noncompliance with the agreement, contrary to all the other countries. Now, what did he mean by that? Stay with me. This gets more and more interesting and deplorable. This from the Washington Free Beacon. Senator Ted Cruz is moving to block future State Department funding and nominees unless President Barack Obama guarantees that Congress will have the authority to fully review a recently linked nuclear accord with Iran before the deal is approved by the UN. See, Cruz has figured this out. Obama's going to do an end run around Congress, ladies and gentlemen. He's going to go to the UN Security Council. The Security Council, with Russia and China and France, among others, who supported this deal. He's going to get the Security Council, the UN, to approve it. And then once it's approved, he's going to say Congress can't reverse it. Congress can't reverse it. So Cruz sees this, and he sent a letter, I guess to Obama, but he's made the point, wait a minute, Obama, you can't get away with this. You pull this, you circumvent Congress altogether after you said that you agreed to us having 60 days and so forth and so on. I'm going to move to block all funding of the State Department and the nominees to any position at the State Department. Now, of course, Cruz is a leader and McConnell's not. So McConnell will say, oh, what are we going to do? Obama will shut down the government. We'll shut down the government. We can't shut down the government. Cruz says the United States should not be backing any UN action until Congress fulfills its legal role in reviewing and potentially rejecting the deal, which will provide Iran with billions of dollars in economic relief. He says none of these restrictions should be lifted before Congress has fully reviewed and voted on the deal. Legislators have legally been given 60 days to do it. But the deal linked in Vienna this week makes no mention of the law giving Congress the power to review it. Instead, it assumes that Congress has already signed off. Did you know this? So Cruz is threatening to block new funding for the State Department and will hold all of its nominees from approval until Obama guarantees that no UN action will be taken before Congress performs its oversight duty. I hate to tell everybody. Obama has no plan on honoring that federal statute. You see, Mr. Corker, you're a Class A schmuck. You are a complete sucker. I told you when you were doing this, patting yourself on the back, showing up on all the Sunday shows and the cable shows, talking about how this was bipartisan, how you made this great deal with that idiot Ben Cardin from Maryland. I said then You're being pulled into a trap. What the hell's wrong with you? You're surrendering the treaty power of the Constitution. And here we are. Not only did they surrender the treaty power, not only did Obama sign this phony law, now Obama's not even going to honor it. Senator Mark Kirk has expressed concerns about the administration's attempt to circumvent Congress, too. He said the White House has planned to preempt Congress's 60-day review of the Iran deal by first seeking approval from the UN Security Council, whose members include at least 6 non-democracies, would be a breathtaking assault on American sovereignty and congressional prerogative. Really? He said, I am shocked that the Secretary of State Kerry actually admitted on the record that he wants to create a situation where congressional disapproval of the Iran deal would make the United States in violation of the international community. I am so furious with these fraud Republicans. How many times, Mr. Producer, did I tell them? Didn't matter. Doesn't matter. And then there's Bob Corker, who's turned out to be a clown, an absolute, utter fool, who paved the way for Obama. Our friends at Red State. Obama's circulating a resolution for UN Security Council consideration. He's already at it, right away, that implements the Iran deal announced earlier in the week. Here's the news report. The United States on Wednesday, yesterday, circulated a draft resolution to the UN Security Council that would endorse the Iran nuclear deal but retain an arms embargo and ban on ballistic missile technology, said diplomats. U.S. Ambassador to the UN Samantha Power, that creep, briefed the 15-member council on the draft document behind closed doors. See what they're doing? The 7-page draft seen by Reuters states that the 7 previous UN resolutions on Iran will be terminated when the International Atomic Energy Agency submits a report verifying Iran has implemented certain nuclear-related measures. Well, Corker plans on starting a debate on Iran deal next week with a vote in September, but Obama's already working the UN Security Council. So by the time the Senate gets around to voting, the UN sanctions are going to be lifted. Now Corker's worried. What have I gotten us into? Well, I'll just keep beating my chest. I was betrayed, he says. I was betrayed. No, we were betrayed. The American people, you fool. Many of us saw this coming. And here it is. In effect, Congress will have no say. And I don't know how many more times to say it, to underscore it. I understand the backbenchers in talk radio. They listen, they repeat it. But these politicians, the Republicans, what the hell's wrong with them? How many more times will Obama get away with this? How many more times will Obama skirt the law, usurp the Constitution? You have this idiot John McCain telling the Daily Caller, well, we can't do the treaty because Obama has to designate it as a treaty. And if he doesn't designate it as a treaty, then we can't treat it as a treaty. You idiot! You don't even know what the hell the Constitution says. President doesn't get to tell you what to do. You get to tell him what to do. You don't even understand the history behind the treaty clause and the purpose of it. Do you, John? No, you don't. You don't understand the hobbits out there. They're out to get me, the hobbits. The Tea Party, yeah. Hate those people. Yes. So now Obama is going to make nice with the Chinese and the Russians and the other genocidal fascists and communists and, conga line of Star Wars bar types as he conspires against the United States Congress and the American people. This is how Obama conducts himself. Obama has a despotic mind. He seeks to get around the representatives of the people. He seeks to get around the Constitution. He's always conspiring and conniving, plotting. How do I get my way? I'm so damn smart. Everybody else is so stupid. How do I get my way? How do I breach the firewalls of the Constitution. And there's Justice Kennedy on the Supreme Court. What does Barack want? Sure. Immigration? Yes. Same-sex? Oh, sure. Now expanding Obama. Oh, yeah, great. That Justice Kennedy, he's just terrific. So cerebral. Not cerebral. He's an idiot. All right, more when I return.
Mark Levin.